Welcome back. We got another repair video today. Cubby and I was out running on the ice on the pond, and I knew I should have replaced these rear bearing hub carriers when I did the caster blocks, because they're like the two things that break the most on a Stampede. So I ran to my local hobby store again real quick, picked up some RPM rear bearing carriers, and I'm going to show you how to install these today. As always, I'm just going to show you how to do one side because it's the same thing on the other. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is get the wheel off here. So we're just going to take the nut driver and we're going to go ahead and take the wheel off. And as always, once that's off, I'm going to pop that off and slide it underneath and use that for a nice little stand. And now you can see, broke right there. Hub carrier should be like that. And it snapped right there. We'll zoom in a little bit. Right there on top of the hub is where it broke. So this is a simple fix. You just gotta go ahead and take your screw out here with a Phillips screw. And then you got one of the shoulder screws with a Phillips right here. So let's go ahead and get that off. Now that we got the shoulder screw unscrewed from the top part of the hub carrier, there is a washer right there. So make sure when you pull that out, you keep the washer, because you're going to want to put that back in. Now we're going to undo the screw down here. Now that we got this screw loosened out, we're just going to pull that out right here. There's your screw that holds the carrier in. We're going to go ahead and pull that out with the axle. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the hub nut off. Then you got a pin down in here. Going to go ahead and take that out. Then we're going to grab the bearing carrier and we're going to go ahead, and that feels kind of tight in there, so we're going to take a flathead screwdriver and we're going to go ahead and pry that off the stub axle here. Right there's our inner bearing. There's our outer bearing. Now, since the inner bearing already came out, I'm just going to stick my screwdriver here. I'm going to pop that outer bearing out. Now I'm going to transfer these to the new bearing carriers. Now we got our RPM bearing carrier here. And we're just going to go ahead and drop down these bearings, make sure they're flush. There's the one on that side. Flip it around. I'm going to go ahead and pop that one in. Both of them are flush, so this is ready to put on. Here's just a quick little comparison of the factory one that broke and the RPM. You can see how the RPM one is beefed up right there a little bit more. And basically it looks like it's beefed up in a couple other areas too. That's why it's always good to go with RPM products, because they're not that expensive, but they're built a little beefier. Let's go ahead and get this installed. Now that we got the bearing carrier all put together, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and slide the stub axle back through here. Sometimes this can be a tight fit, but we'll get it popped on there. Looks like my bearing popped out a little bit, so we'll go ahead and get that tucked back in there. Then what you're going to want to do is line your splines up right with the axle here. You'll know if it fits in right, because it'll go in nice and easy. If it don't, then you don't have it in right. All right, that's sliding nice and easy. Now, originally the screw was on the top one, so I'm just going to set that in there. I'm going to take the screw that we originally took out, and we're going to put that in and get it lined up here. And then once it's lined up, it'll go all the way through. Then we're just going to take our screwdriver and tighten it back up. Now that we got that screwed back in, we're going to go ahead to our camber link here, put the shoulder screw through, get our washer, and we're going to stick that on the end of it, if I can get a hold of it here. Then we're going to go ahead, put that back on. Then we're going to get it all lined up here. And I'm going to start it by fingers, because usually with a new piece, the threads aren't in the new plastic. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started with my fingers. That way after that I can use a screwdriver and it makes it easier. Now we got everything together, we're going to go ahead and stick our pin in here. Go ahead and get that pushed in. Go ahead and take our hub nut here, put it back on. There we go. And that's all there is to changing your rear bearing carrier on your Traxxas Stampede. All we got left to do is put our tire on this side, go ahead and do the other side, and then we're all done. I'll go ahead and turn this real quick and let you get a look here real quick at it close up here. There you go. And basically that's how you change it. Not that much to it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get the other side done. I'm going to do that off camera because it's the exact same thing on the other side. So I don't want to waste any more video time for you guys. Well, that's all I got for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.